This episode of Lore Drop is sponsored by Lucy Gomez, who is Monica Gomez's mom. Thanks, Mom.
No single person needs to do all the stuff by themselves.
Yeah.
Because it would, with that particular grouping of individuals, it would be very easy to think that they could, except for Drew's character, probably.
Yeah. There's a stray for Andrew. Hello, welcome to Lore Drop, a Reinvent podcast. I'm Abby, the executive director of Reinvent Productions.
I'm Ben, the creative and artistic director.
And our third party member today is our friend
Beth Brown. Hello.
Beth is returning to the pod. The last episode you heard her on was the Mr. and Mrs. Fahrenheit episode, and she is playing our Bonnie Black in Talent Squad Trust and Turmoil, which, if you're listening to this on the day it comes out, it is opening night for us. So come get your tickets. If you're listening to this into the future, what were you doing? Why didn't you come see the show? Anyway, so today, if the title doesn't give it away, we are talking about Bonnie Black, the character that Beth will be playing on stage this weekend. But before we get into talking about Bonnie and her role in C.A.D.E.N.C.E, we got to decide the most important part of the episode, which is what animated trio we are.
Oh, I forgot about this portion.
Well, like, trying to think of Star Trek ones.
Oh,
I
the
don't know.
animated series is terrible. Sorry, Trekkies. I am hardcore, but I can't get behind that. Nothing's cool enough. I can't think of anything cool enough.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like gargoyles. That may be
Ooh.
before your time.
I know, I remember gargoyles.
A lot of people from Next Gen did voice work on
Nice.
gargoyles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What about the Three Caballeros from Disney?
Oh, my goodness. I love it.
That works great. Yeah, the Three
I love them so
Caballeros
much.
from my other suggestion was going to be the trio of the little green men from
Toy
Toy
Story.
Toy Story.
That's not bad either.
That claw. We can do. We'll say it's interchangeable. It can be either be the Three Caballeros or the little green
Sure.
men. There we go. Cool. Great. Took the pressure off. Oh my gosh. Sweating.
Can carry on.
Perfect. People editing. That definitely. Hi. Yeah, we definitely didn't have to cut out like 3 minutes of us trying to think about what we were gonna do for this trio. Anyway, let's talk about Bonnie Black in the Reinvent universe.
Awesome. So Bonnie Black in Universe 17 is a human woman who serves as a significant member of C.A.D.E.N.C.E. So she was born in 1991, lives up to the present. And so Bonnie receives combat training from her mother growing up, and then afterwards standard training for C.A.D.E.N.C.E field operatives, but has, other than that, no real special abilities, no powers or anything like that.
She's just hot and really good at her job.
Yeah. Notable allies include Aidala and Aatifa Almasi, Emily Roll, Feng Wu, Hideo Tanihara, and Morgana.
So Morgana is there's like basically an underwater cadence called Harbor, and she's a little blue water elf.
Okay.
So
All right.
yeah, she's fun.
Yeah, and then Aidala and Aatifa Almasi are the co-directors, so during Talent Squad, they're the actual people like above Bonnie on the chain of command. But the notable adversaries include Danford Holland, the previous director of C.A.D.E.N.C.E, Tabitha Black, Roy Smith, and Mercury Soleil.
Crazy.
Wait, is Tabitha her sister?
No.
No,
okay.
it's her mom.
It's different.
Oh, it's her. Ooh.
Yeah.
Crazy that you just said that the one who trained her is one of her biggest ops.
Yeah. Listen, there are certain tropes I like.
We're just walking tropes. Look at all of our stuff.
But Bonnie's first real-world appearance is in Talent Squad Trust and Turmoil, which is in Universe Year 2017. In Real World, coming up this year, 2026. And Bonnie serves as the head of operations in C.A.D.E.N.C.E and gives Talent Squad their mission to determine who is a part of this mysterious traitor cell. But yeah, so some of her origins, going back in the timeline. So Bonnie's mother is a bounty hunter, Tabitha Black. And Tabitha ran with a specific group of bounty hunters down in or up in South Dakota, I think. No, I have this written somewhere. We said it on some podcast episode. I just didn't find where it was yet. Anyway, Mom was a bounty hunter. And so, as such, Bonnie was raised on the run with all this stuff and learned the combat basics, marksmanship, and information gathering from her mother at a very young age, and sort of became like a really like crime-oriented Batman and Robin type thing. Of like, okay, cool, you're gonna help me out now on this job.
Wow.
What a crazy mommy and me activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
Couldn't just like go to like a dance class or one of those
They
goat.
don't. Yeah, they don't paint pottery or scrapbook.
No,
Yeah.
don't go to goat yoga. My mother-in-law is obsessed with goat yoga. Like
I think that's hilarious.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's a
She is a certified yoga instructor and
they have goats.
has goats, and so I think she's done goat yoga out there before.
Yeah, I
like
think
taught
so.
it.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mhm.
She's like in her post army career. She's like, I want to be a baker and teach goat yoga. I'm
I
like,
would
"That's-
go to a
Mhm.
class. I
That's
would
like-
do it at least once.
Yeah,
I would
mhm.
try.
It's
Sure.
pretty funny.
It's always so funny when they send the pictures of it. But yeah, so Bonnie did not join Cadence until 2009 when she is on a job with her mother in Wellsburg to steal information from Everlife Incorporated. Tabitha actually leaves Bonnie behind in order to escape from law enforcement herself.
What a jerk.
No kidding.
Mhm. And so
See you
as-
later, kid.
Yeah, while Bonnie's in custody, she is approached by Cadence operative Hideo Tanihata, who is looking for information on how to find Tabitha. And he comes in not expecting much because he's like, I don't know, she's probably not going to say anything. And then Bonnie does offer to help Hideo on the condition that she joins the mission in person. And Hideo says, you know what? Sure, they didn't send me with any backup. Why not?
Let me
Dang.
take this 18-year-old with
Yeah.
me. To,
Bonnie said, "You leaving? I'm selling you out."
yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, mom.
And so Hideo accepts this offer, and Bonnie leads him to one of Tabitha's nearby safe houses, where they do capture Tabitha. She is taken into Cadence custody because she is an international criminal at this point. And afterwards, Hideo offers Bonnie a position within Cadence, which she accepts, looking quickly for new work.
Like, well, I guess I gotta do something else now.
But yeah, and from there she goes through the usual stuff, becoming a field operative and climbing through the ranks and everything. Up until 2016, this is in the Cataclysm era now, but with the fall of Cadence, when the Cadence headquarters in Wellsburg was destroyed by a magic-using individual, Bonnie was one of the survivors from the headquarters destruction. Actually, I think she was on a different job at the time. Oh yeah, she was on a mission in Norway when it happened. And so that is what when she was recalled afterwards to help with the rebuilding efforts. But shortly afterwards, when Adal and Aatifa Almasi became the new directors after the fall of Cadence there, that is when Bonnie received her promotion to head of operations. And so about a little around a year-ish later is when we get Talon Squad Trust and Turmoil. That falls within the Cataclysm era umbrella, so in 2017. And like we said, this is when, to avoid spoilers for the story, because this is the specific details are very, very fun. So come see the show.
Yep, gotta come see this show.
Um,
And again, if you're listening to us in the future, what were you doing?
But yeah, so Bonnie assigns Talon Squad the mission to investigate a potential traitor cell within Cadence after the mysterious death of Steve Raxfeld, Talon Squad's previous leader. And then she quickly becomes, I'll avoid any other details. I was going to go off and I was like, no, I really can't say anything about it.
No,
You know,
say.
that's not a year's not long for her having been in charge for all of these things to start
Yeah.
Going crazy.
cooking up.
Yeah. And
No,
she's
absolutely.
like, well, great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it shows why she's so adamant of no, take care of it now. We're
Yeah.
still in this rebuilding phase.
Yeah.
Still in this rebuilding phase, and then she's also seeing how quickly things can go wrong again.
Mhm.
It's like it's already gone wrong. It's going wrong again. We have to nip this in the bud.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh man, yeah, we're gonna have to. Yeah, we have to save anything else about
Mhm.
Bonnie with this arc because it is quite spoilery.
Yeah.
But we can talk to you about it off mic.
Sure.
Yeah. But after Trust and Turmoil wraps up, Bonnie does have one more appearance in the Cataclysm era, and that is with a high-profile target known as Adam Dahl. So around 2018, Bonnie and Emily are sent to Dustria City to try and re-recruit Severica Agriver and Navita Vega back into Cadence after they disappeared back in 2016. And so when they arrive, Severica and Navita both refuse the offer. They're like, no, thank you. We're good here. We kind of I don't know if like the work they're doing now is the right way that I would describe it, but they're like, no, we're needed here. We can do more here in Industrial City than we can with Cadence.
We also prefer this over you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so Bonnie and Emily are like, okay. And then it is discovered as one Adam Dahl is wheeled into the precinct, or they see Adam Dahl back in the infirmary. And Adam, for reference, is someone who is on Cadence's like radar as like a very high threat because he has a powering which gives him the ability to control gravity in like not on like a mass scale, but on an individual scale. But they discover after talking with their medics that Adam might have brain damage because he was subjected to carbon monoxide poisoning and he is currently unconscious.
So he's also crazy.
Potentially. he was known prior to this to have anger issues as well.
Yeah.
So like whatever brain activity is left.
He's a big old loose cannon.
Mhm.
like,
So yeah,
yep.
with this, Bonnie decides is like, no, he is too dangerous to be left out among the public anymore. Like before they were like, we'll keep an eye on him. He hasn't done anything like bad and he works for a police department right now. So he's kind of like under decent supervision, even though it's Industrial City. But at this point, Bonnie's like, okay, nope, not anymore. He's got to go. And so Bonnie makes a deal with Chief Richard Briggs that because the Industrial City Police Department has lots of superpowered officers, all of which are on Cadence's watch list. And so Bonnie's like, hey, Chief Briggs, how about we cut a deal? You give me just Adam and we'll call it good, or I will take all of your powered operatives.
Oh.
And
what a power
because,
move. Though.
because this one as well that like the DCPD is also kind of like under a lot of suspicion right now because there was a recent like prison break around this time that led to a lot of high profile like powered criminals being let loose. And so Briggs, feeling that pressure, is like, okay, he agrees and he lets Cadence take Adam after that. But not before a different individual named C.A.D.E.N.C.E does a little experiment, puts a tourniquet on Adam's arm to try and stop the blood flow, because the thing with the power rings is that once they stop detecting a heartbeat, it just slips right off the finger. And so it did work. So the DCPD kept the power ring, but the extra thing about that is that Cadence does not know that the power ring is the source of this power.
Okay.
So that's why they were like, what are you doing? Okay, whatever.
He
Not quite. He did it when they weren't in the room to like look, but
Oh, because Cadence definitely would have figured out, like, having him in custody, being like, this ring doesn't come off your finger.
yeah.
Why is that?
That's weird.
Instead, they get a bunch of dead weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally.
But that is it for Bonnie's appearances in Cataclysm. The next time we see her is actually in Dynamite, when the Earth Defense Legion is formed. In 2026, all of the heroic and lawful leaning neutral groups joining together to form the Earth Defense Legion. So Bonnie is there with a handful of other representatives from Cadence to be like, yes, we also will join and approve of this.
We would like the world to not be taken over by aliens.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is really her only appearance in Dynamite. Cadence is not present at the 8 Days War because they are running operations and other combat missions around the world.
Okay.
And so they're like, yeah, they've built up heavily back at this point. So they are in a much more stable position to actually be that supporting factor of like, no, you guys do the big thing there. We'll run interference literally everywhere else.
Because like all the other bad guys in the world just aren't going to stop being bad guys. They're like, we'll take 8 days off while y'all are doing this war.
If anything, they'll take advantage of everyone else being occupied.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, yeah.
And Bonnie's
Cadence
like, no.
Yeah, so
Just
Cadence is
kidding.
there, left to try and keep everything in check for a little bit. But after Dynamite, around 2028, directors Ayatollah and Atifa Almasi die in the field, mysteriously under mysterious circumstances. So after that, Bonnie is actually appointed as the new director of Cadence. So she's the 7th director of Cadence and vows to return the organization back to being a bastion of good that it used to be known for, pre-Director Holland even. Because Director Holland was the one who was in charge right at the start of Cataclysm, so he would have been director when Bonnie joined, and he was very well known for like strong arming people and being like holding blackmail and bargaining chips over people's head. I liken him with our voice actor for him in Cataclysm. The first bit of direction I gave him was back in Marvel Comics pre like Sam Jackson when Nick Fury was a white character. Very different version of Nick Fury. So
Sure.
I would tell him it's like, no, white Nick Fury is what we're going for, not Sam Jackson Nick Fury. But then the Almacies were very much like they were focused on that rebuilding thing with Cadence. And so they didn't really have a lot of time to like redirect the whole organization. But yeah, and that is the most recent update we have for Bonnie in the timeline.
There's a lot of open possibilities for her character. But yeah, we had her pop up in. What was she an NPC you were running for both arcs of the tabletop?
Yeah, so in the tabletop version of Talon Squad, Bonnie was very present a lot of the time. So that one, the tabletop version of the story takes place in Universe 40. Oh, I keep forgetting this one. It is not 42.
6.
Yes, 46.
Ah, I did it.
So in the tabletop one, they start with the Demi arc, and that is one that sort of like has a lot of kickstarting stuff. So in that universe, Bonnie is the one who, Bonnie's not the one who appoints Kyle to join Talon Squad. Steve made a note. He's like, this Kyle Breaker will join Talon Squad. And then Kyle's first day was Steve's last day.
The crazy way.
Yeah. And then honestly, in the tabletop, Bonnie was way more antagonistic than she is in the stage play.
Okay.
Because there was this sort of mysterious factor of like the players being like, wait, what's going on with all these different things? Is she one of these traitors or not? And then in the second arc, we get the whole, which is the traitor cell arc. Then she's like, okay, cool. I'm actually on your side, by the way, after the whole thing with the first arc.
Or is she? Spoilers.
Oh.
Who's to know?
I don't think that's a thing. I think that's a red herring.
Yeah.
I think she's had enough of that.
Yeah. Oh no. After all the stuff with her mom, she's like, no.
Yeah.
You get what you get, and this is what it is.
Yeah. She doesn't have the time to mess around with that.
That's a lot different than I expected for her.
Yeah.
I thought she had probably come from a sort of maybe a military background a little bit, maybe perhaps her parents or something, and maybe she had been with the CIA
Ooh.
and defected because she wanted to work with these people that had abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like this even better, I think.
Yeah, it's an interesting it's kind of interesting you saying that, because we have a couple of characters that like bits of that were their like kind of backstory.
Yeah.
Like we have one of Emily's NPCs is
Yeah, she didn't make it into the show.
but her name is Clara, and she was the one in the kitchen.
She's the head cook, but she is a secret double agent for the CIA within C.A.D.E.N.C.E.
Oh, see, I dig that too.
Yeah.
But it certainly gives motivation for why Bonnie is the way she is. Not that she doesn't care, but she doesn't want to let herself care too much.
Right.
And why she's sort of all business and why she comes down so hard on her operatives.
Yeah, because you don't
I
have
almost said a name and I had to stop myself.
Yeah.
with your character in this show, it's not necessarily a ton of stage time that you have, but like when you are on stage, like it's like oh, Bonnie's here and is and I part of this is the writing, but a lot of this is your performance of it, is that like you really do command the room that you're
thank
in.
you.
And I really like that. And that was like a thing where I told you this on my birthday, but when I saw that you signed up, I was like, well, somebody's gonna have to take Bonnie from her, because I was just like, I was like, who's gonna be? I knew that I needed an actor that was going to be able to pull that off. So like looking at like who had signed up, like we had a wonderful group of people that came out and auditioned, and then like that are in our show. But like seeing you on the list, I was like, oh, perfect. I know exactly where I need to put you.
Oh, thanks.
And you didn't have to fight in this show.
Nope. They were doing jumping jacks to warm up before rehearsal a couple nights ago, and I was like, you guys have fun with that.
Yeah.
Right when I get all the knee pads. Shit.
Yeah.
I did. I have money. We have money now that we can spend on things, which is so exciting. So I got a bunch of knee pads for reInvent just to have for rehearsals. And I was like, well, probably should have had these for Ordinary Heroes.
How, what's the right word? Ingrained are she and Oliver as friend and boss and mentor? Is she a mentor to him?
Ooh.
Or do they just work really well together?
So a fun fact
Because I feel like she keeps him close to the vest for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I think her and Oliver definitely like works, because Oliver joins Cadence the year after Bonnie does. So they've been there for a while, and I think it's one of those that like I think it's one of those is like he is just so like efficient and like trustworthy of like, okay, cool, no, he will get the job done, whatever it is. And so I think there's a certain like level of friendship that exists there as well.
But I still think that she keeps him like at arm's length. She keeps everybody at arm's length, I think.
Sure.
Especially just with like her background with her mom and all of that. Fun fact about Oliver, I think Oliver was kind of a bit NPC character for a little bit that like got fleshed out.
He started out as a joke character in the devising process. Because when we were doing the tabletop stuff, we started doing the extra like playdate improv sessions. And so we needed someone to do like a debrief with all the members of Talon Squad after their missions.
Somebody to mansplain.
Well, it's like somebody to mansplain to. So he would be like, he's like, okay, well, I'm taking notes of everything.
Yeah, and so at first they were just like, all right, let's go debrief with HR. And then HR turned into the character of Oliver, who was the representative from HR assigned specifically to Talon Squad.
Well, and then we had it like after a few times with it, we just knew that like anytime Ben walked up, we're like, oh, Oliver's here.
Yeah, I would specifically have my notebook in my hand.
And we'd be like, oh, there's Oliver. Here we go.
Yeah.
And because you had kind of talked about wanting to have a man in the chair character for this show. And full disclosure, this is the character that Ben would have played if like we were.
Yeah. If my kids weren't
you
graduating.
read it? I think you read it at the table read. Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this was a show that we were kind of like, oh, Ben, do you like actually want to like do a character for the show? And he was like, yeah, I'll play Oliver. And then we were like, your kids are graduating. Also, there's a lot of other things going on during this rehearsal process.
That was me. I said, oh gosh, after Ordinary Heroes, which was awesome, I was like, I need to not do shows outside of school when I'm also doing a show at school.
Yes.
So
yes.
But because of this, we have Gavin now, Gavin is
delightful.
Precious, sweet boy. When he came
Great
into
casting.
When he came into audition, I was like, oh, good. It's a variation of Ben. Perfect. Slender Spider-Man, long-haired looking boy. Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Got it.
I feel the same way about Cable's character.
Oh my goodness.
That Cable is part of Bonnie's trusted network.
Yeah.
Which is probably very small. Again, she's not having them over for wine and cheese.
Yeah.
But would be one of her go-tos.
Yeah. If she were to eat lunch with anybody
that I know of so far.
Bonnie's like, she said,
I don't know. Maybe the two of them probably.
Yeah. She's like, I'll have a coffee with you.
Yeah.
Passing. Like, I'll.
But that's it.
Bonnie's also got the challenge, at least in this specific like window view of Cadence characters that we have through Trust and Turmoil. Of Bonnie is like the straight man character. I was like, oh, she is.
Nobody on Talon Squad.
Yeah, absolutely.
She's not hanging out with them later. Maybe Callum.
Yeah.
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 That's it.
Yeah.
That I've been introduced to so far.
No, that makes sense. I'm like going through the Rolodex of NPCs that showed up, and I'm like, there would be no one else.
The bit where she tries to be funny, and I'm not gonna spoil it too hard. Abby sat down and talked to me about this, and she's like, she thinks she's really hilarious, but it really falls flat. That's one of my favorite sections. Yeah. I almost want to laugh snort there.
I play with it. I mean, we got so much time to experiment with it.
Yeah.
It is fun going from like that scene into the scene right afterwards where like all of Talon Squad is in your office and you're just sitting at the desk the whole time, just like being like, these idiots are these are our saviors. Not really, but like it is kind of like,
these are the ones I have to trust.
I think she's questioning the assemblage of these particular people. But when they come into what they do better.
Oh yeah.
It's all of them as a unit. It's no single one of them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's like, y'all are effective as a unit, so I need y'all to sniff this out. It's like it's you do things not by the book, but because you're so effective at it, I'm okay with you deviating a little bit.
And because I read too much Brandon Sanderson and listen to too many podcasts, I'm going to bring it back to a point of that is, I would that would be a highlight for me. That no single person needs to do all the stuff by themselves.
Yeah.
Because it would, with that particular grouping of individuals, it would be very easy to think that they could, except for Drew's character, probably.
There's a stray for Andrew. Every episode.
But it would be really easy for them to think that they could, I'm just going to go it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that community.
Well, and I think that idea of thinking that you can do it alone, that is something that one of our Talent Squad members thinks is the solution to it. And then you see the dysfunction that comes from that. That's been a thing I've been talking to those 5 actors about a lot over the last couple of weeks, of like, the reason that they aren't effective right now is because there's such major dysfunction happening amongst their group. But you see them come to a resolution amongst themselves of being like, okay, well, like, we have to work together. We have to trust each other, because we do have a trust. We have a bond between all of us. And when we really lean into that, that's when we're successful.
And they were all selected for a reason. Even if we don't know what it is right away, because somebody's gritching about carpal tunnel or anagrams for electronic devices.
Yes. Well, and it is just like, I think one of my favorite scenes in the show right now is a scene with it's with Drew, Emily, Kobe, and Deacon. And you see like multiple like different like arguments happening. And just seeing like how people who do love and care for each other do still fall into arguments with each other. And we're seeing different variations of like seeing someone who's upset with their friend because they aren't like trusting themselves and being like, I know that you're great at this and wonderful at this, and I'm mad at you because you're not like seeing that in yourself. And then we do have and I know that Deacon will be okay saying this just because we've been openly talking about this. Deacon's character is a wonderful representation of having a character who has autism on stage. And I jokingly said to him last night, I was like, Deacon, you're so good at playing a character with autism. He's like, thanks, it's just unmasking. And I was like, well, which I really appreciate, because my little brother has autism, and so I've like grown up around that community my whole life. So like seeing a character who sees the world very differently, interacting with neurotypical ish adjacent people. But the argument that Deacon's character and Kobe's character have is just been wonderful to kind of dissect and navigate through. That's a scene that we've worked on a couple times of like reworkshopping it, because we were like, this just isn't landing how we want it to, and we've gotten to a better spot with it. So I'm really proud of the work that the actors have put in for it. A big takeaway from the show that I'm really enjoying seeing come from directing it is seeing people make the discoveries of some of the original goals that we had with the show, like from the beginning of being like some initial goals in the devising where we want to tell a story about like what it looks like to be complicit, and like what the consequences of that are. How do you navigate like knowing that something is wrong? Like, do you just choose to be complicit? Do you fight against it, or do you just kind of like go along with the flow with it, which does end up making you complicit with it? And but then also the idea that we were wanting to navigate what it looks like when you aren't sure about your relationships with other people, and like making the choice to like lean into the foundation that you've already built with people, and trusting that that foundation is solid. So there's a lot of things that we had in our devising process that are now coming to light again as we are going through the production.
I would add to that taking responsibility. That character does have to struggle with that.
Yeah. Of like dealing with taking responsibility for like what you've done, and like facing the consequences of the actions, even if like in the end like you did end up making the right choice. you still end up having to deal with the consequences of it. Which is really funny because Ben and I are workshopping a script right now that like has like that. It's like that your intentions could be good, but even if you still make a mistake, you have to deal with the negative consequences of that.
Yep.
Crazy full circle things happening. But yeah, for this process, this is your second process working with us, Beth. How are your two tracks comparing? So you had your last one was Mom and Mrs. Fahrenheit, and then you've got
they parallel in some ways. Mom was military. Bonnie is sort of paramilitary, if you will.
Military adjacent.
They both are strong. They both can carry quite a bit.
Yeah.
Learning what I've learned this morning, I think Bonnie has more damage that might creep up on her in the future if she's not careful. She doesn't do some little bit of self-examination and find out what her motivations are going forward.
I think Oliver's really pushing for her to use that cadence, the cadence therapist.
Yes, he is.
He's like, why don't you look into this? And she's like, I don't have time for that.
I think the Fahrenheits are very firmly grounded in who they are and that they understand and know their purpose. I think Bonnie might still be searching a little bit.
Yeah.
I think the Fahrenheits are older than they are older than she is.
Yeah.
She's, Bonnie's still got some seasoning that needs to happen. But as far as managing this group of agents, she's very much on top of it and very much aware of what her role is to them. And because of her mom, she's aware of what she doesn't want to be to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I hadn't gone down that road yet.
Well, that's fun. Love capturing it on in audio form so we can think about it. Yeah, I am really enjoying the discoveries that are happening throughout the show. Whenever I talk to people about like filmmaking, I talk about like whenever you make a film, it goes through 3 different life cycles. So like there's the writer makes it. So we have the screenplay version. That screenplay gets passed off to the production team, and the director and cinematographer. It's going to change from what it was
in the filming process. There's a lot of like adjustments and artistic choices that are made in that process that change how the story is structured sometimes.
And then from there, the third life of it will be in post-production whenever you're editing it. And like you have like the raw footage and like all those things that production made, but then you get to puzzle piece. Literally you get to rearrange like what was happening during the production process. And I think with new work, which is like what we exclusively do with Reinvent, is that we are like, and it's been so helpful to have a playwright in the room with us of being like, hey, I need to cut a line, or can we change this line? Because I am trying to convey something that we do need to justify how you've written the character. And so it's been helpful to be able to negotiate some line changes on the fly of being like, hey, this is what will work better. Because once you have like a published script from a playwright, it's like,
yeah, it's pretty set in stone. You just stay where you are.
Yeah. Can't really fix or not fix, but like you can't change it because like it's like the playwright did write it the way that they wrote it. They wrote it there for a reason. But with young work, I think it's very helpful that like part of our like first production process for all of these new works is kind of workshopping it. Like we view it, like we can view it as like a workshop and then the premiere of it. And I like the organic growth that is happening and the collaborative growth that's happening with the script throughout our process. I mean, because there's stuff that happened during your production of What If at Coronado that makes me want to I was like, okay, well, I want to change stuff for the second edition of the script, make a third edition of it. And like, but also just like, as I'm getting ready to write the definitive edition of that script, which will be like the one that's like, this is the canon version of what happens for sure in Universe 17.
Final, no more adjustments.
Yeah. Final, no more. This is it. And I'm like, well, maybe I want to do a third edition before I get to the definitive edition. And that's great because the kids were making discoveries that I was like, oh, yeah, that's it. I love that.
Yeah.
Like the fact that Percy does color guard.
Oh, right on.
Yep,
Yeah.
she's color guard girly.
Which makes it really funny that we have that marching band song in the pre-show for that
Yeah,
one too.
well, and because you had
that was there originally.
Yeah, and I remember listening to that the first time at Coronado, and I was like, "Did you add this to?"
Nope, that was
this?
there in the original.
So
Cool.
it's just fun. Do you want to add anything else, or?
No, I don't think so. It's been lovely to be with some of the same people and some more new people.
Yeah, we
I
have
like that.
We have a lot of new people, a lot of familiar faces from Lubbock, but like new to the reinvent community, which has been really cool. Getting people integrated, getting people learning, which helps us learn as we're growing the production company.
Oh, I will tell a short bit about the monologue that I used for the audition.
Ooh.
Oh, yes. This
You
is a
won't
great-
find it anywhere. When I was looking for monologues of strong women in charge, it's from, and I think this description said something from action or anime or whatever. There was not.
Yeah.
yeah.
Even with all of the great Marvel stuff that has come out over the last couple of years. So what I did was I went to who I feel is the source, and that's John le Carre, who wrote Cold War spy novels. And his primary protagonist is a gentleman called George Smiley. And
What a great name.
the big film was Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy 10, 15 years ago. And I used a bit of George, and I used a bit of Agent Coulson from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nice.
and just kind of mishmashed them and edited it down. And I was like, well,
Cool.
this is good enough.
It was a great
But
monologue.
it turned out, I felt like it turned out fantastic.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It was I am a director. I really don't care more often than not what kind of monologue you do. I do care if you do a monologue grossly out of context. So like I had an experience where I saw somebody do a monologue from Blythe Spirit, which is a show that I love and I've been in, and the girl was doing an Elvira monologue, and it was so angry.
She was trying to make it dramatic instead of comedic.
Yeah, and I'm like, this is supposed to be a very, very funny monologue, and you do not understand
Oh, whoops.
the context. And I'm like, but
But it's like she just got unlucky with two people in the room who had done that show and knew the
Yeah.
Oh,
context.
sure.
So I'm like, that is a thing. It's like if you're doing a monologue of a play that is fairly well known, know the context of it, please, because the pretentious theater people who are directors are going to try.
They will know.
They're
Yeah.
going to try really hard not to judge you, but I'll judge you. But it is I loved the mismatch monologue because I was like, I just want to see you perform. It's like, come perform. Great. Cool. I don't really want to see a regurgitation of like a different performance. So it's like if like what we were looking for the show, I'm like, I just need to see if you can act the characters I need you to act in. And everybody did. And
It was great fun.
Yeah.
Before we end the episode, Beth, do you want to give a shout out to anyone or anything?
No, not really. Just the whole cast and the production crew. We're having a great time. Come out and see it.
Yeah. We'll have links to tickets in our episode description. Tonight, if you're listening to this on May 20th on Wednesday, this is a pay what you can night. We just asked for a minimum $3 ticket donation, but we want to make this accessible and a way for anybody to be able to come see the art that we're making. If you come on Sunday to closing, you get a 2-for-1 ticket. Youth Artists Guild Lubbock is going to be performing their one act that they I guided the devising process for and wrote with them to make a little bit of a backstory for one of the characters in Town Squad Trust and Turmoil. So their performance runs about 30 minutes, but your tickets gets you in for that, and then there'll be a brief intermission in between, and then you get to see Town Squad Trust and Turmoil. So these kids are super talented. The 19 cast members that we have in our Town Squad Trust and Turmoil are super talented. Cast and crew, fantastic. Come out and see us this weekend and support the arts that are going on in Lubbock. Our next episode of Lore Drop is going to be on Sunday. It's going to be about Demi Carter, which is she was the main antagonist, possibly question mark, of the first arc of the tabletop campaign for developing Talent Squad Trust and Turmoil. We're going to be having Emily Kilgore on for that episode to talk about what happened to this character, because she might be showing up in Talent Squad Trust and Turmoil in a different way. So, but you're gonna have to come see the show to figure out what is going on with that. But you might recognize her voice whenever she shows up in the show. I'm a little biased. I'm very excited for that episode. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Lore Drop.
And remember,
Being fantastic starts with being a fan.
Reinvent Productions is proudly sponsored by 5 Points Corporation Lubbock and Savannah Rashida Photography, as well as our other wonderful community patrons. Our home base in Lubbock is Hollingsworth Hall Cultural Center at 4228 Boston Avenue. For more information on how to support our 501c3 organization, you can check out our website at www.reinvent-productions.com. To directly support our upcoming audio drama, you can become a Lore Drop sponsor. For just $10, you can sponsor an episode of this podcast. All donations will go towards support for our upcoming production of Children of Destiny Cataclysm Season 1, which will begin releasing episodes June 22nd, 2026. Funds will go towards paying our wonderful voice actors and creative staff for their fantastic talent and time. We have over 30 artists globally working on this production, and we can't wait for you to hear it this summer. You can donate at givebutter.com/Lore Drop sponsor. You can also find us on Instagram and TikTok at reinvent.productions, as well as on Facebook and Twitch, where we stream gaming and a look behind the scenes on how we create our new works. Be sure to follow us to stay in the loop about upcoming productions, auditions, and more. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll catch you in the next episode of Lore Drop.